Hey y'all, it's Just Melodies coming to you with another vlog of the week. On this week, we're going to be talking about the late Nipsey Hussle's latest album, Victory Lap. This video is to honor and pay tribute to Nipsey Hussle. You know, really, it's all really sad. And a lot of people are speculating the why, and it's just like, you know, that doesn't bring a person back. So let's remember him for kind of the legacy that he left behind. And you know what I really like is that, you know, he's not being remembered for all the money that he made and all the nice cars he had and the numbers that he was doing on the charts. Like, he is being remembered for the impact that he had on the community. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the legacy that he's left behind. And people are talking about how, you know, kind he was and how very smart and intellectual he was. And people are talking about how, like, not only did he make an impact on his community, but he also made an impact on the world. And, you know, I will say, and just watching different interviews that he did and listening to his music, there are some key takeaways that Nipsey Hussle left behind. One of them being, you know, be authentic, be yourself, be real. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, when they hear people say, oh, you know, that person is real, they mistake it for, okay, this person is always, you know, talking about what's on their mind, whether it's factual information or whether it's just them talking, you know, just to be talking. That's not what real is to me. Real is, you know, somebody being their authentic selves. Real is, you know, someone who lives in their truth. Being real is someone that is honest, someone that is a person of high character, integrity. Being real is being honorable. You know what I mean? Being honorable at all times. Also, Nipsey Hussle always talked about just being good and sowing goodness into the world. You know what I mean? And always having a pure heart. That's very rare these days. And that's also a part of being real. You know, having a pure heart and being genuine in every way that you move. Another thing that Nipsey Hussle taught us is, you know, you don't have to go the traditional route when it comes to living in your purpose. You have to create your own lane, and you have to go against the grain, and you have to be different. Also, to inspire. I want to inspire you to the point where, you know, you decide that, okay, it's time for me to start being a better version of myself. It's time for me to, you know, stop procrastinating and stop living in fear and finally live in my purpose. Like, that's what I want to awaken in people. That's what I would want to inspire in people as well. Nipsey taught us about success and what success is. And he did an interview and he's like, you know, success is being able to get paid for what you love to do. I can't agree more. You know what I mean? Like, whatever our assignment here is on this earth, whatever our purpose is, you know, being able to monetize the purpose, okay? Purpose and our talents, you know, they're God-given. They're God-given, and God ain't gonna have us out here, you know, needing things while we're over here being obedient. Like, if we're obedient to God, like, all of that other stuff is gonna fall into place, and we won't have to want for anything. Because if you ain't living your purpose, you are wasting space on the earth. You know what I mean? Imagine living a life where you just here and you just out here doing whatever it is that you want to do, and it doesn't align with God's plan for you. Imagine that. That is a very wasteful life. And imagine when it's your day to leave this earth, standing before God and, you know, having that conversation. You know what I mean? That's sad. That is really sad. And so, you know, living purpose, people say this and, you know, maybe they say it in a cliche way, but it's really not cliche. Like, life truly is short. It really is short. And, you know, that whole situation happening with Nipsey Hussle is like a big reminder. And even for myself, you know, just seeing people around me, like there are people that, you know, I went to high school with and people that I went to college with that are no longer on this earth anymore. People my age. And so it's like you have to live, you know, for the time that you're here. You have to live unapologetically. You have to live fearlessly. Stay focused. Stay focused, stay the course, keep going, and, you know, let's continue to, you know, strive for excellence. Nipsey Hussle was California, LA, born and raised rapper. When you listen to his music, it is so LA. Like, he is so LA, the way he talks. And also, like, when you see interviews that he did, a lot of his mannerisms, it reminded me a lot of Snoop. You know, he even looked like Snoop, y'all. Like, he was tall, skinny, you know, talked like him. I don't know if it's just like a LA vernacular and accent, but he sounded a lot like Snoop to me. In this video, I kind of want to highlight my favorite songs on the album. Now, in listening to it, I actually had a lot of favorite songs. So out of the 16 songs on the album, 10 of them I really, really like. And, you know, that's a really good ratio. 10 out of the 16 songs for me to be thinking that they're solid. I'm like, okay, you know, he did good. He did good with this album. Of course, the first song, Victory Lap, is a favorite of mine. It's a great intro to the album, a great intro to kind of who he is, what he stands for. Love the production in that one. Then we get to the song Young, insert N-word. This was a really good song featuring Diddy. This song gives me an R&B feel, and in this one, Nipsey is just talking about his journey from beginning up until that present moment, and how, you know, in the beginning he was living a street life, reckless life, and how he kind of transitioned and redirected that energy for something positive. He talks about how, like, back then he was the kid that your parents wouldn't want you to be around. You know what I mean? But the evolution of a man, right? He talks about how he owns his masters, and so plug, he owns his masters. Continue to stream his music, buy, support his brand, you know what I mean, and that supports his family. In this one, Nipsey talks about ownership and being a businessman, and, you know, not being concerned with, you know, the material things and all that other type of stuff, but investing your money and flipping your money, and, you know, kind of building wealth and generational wealth, but not only for yourself, but the people around you. Because you doing that, you being a true leader, you're gonna position the people around you and you're gonna put them up on game. And so, you know, I always talk about this, what a true leader is. A true leader isn't a person who just delegates and, you know, orders people around. A true leader creates other leaders around them. And if you're the only one on your team that's the quote-unquote big dog, something's wrong with that picture. Something's truly wrong. It's like, why are you the only one on top on your team, and why haven't you positioned the people around you, since now you have a bigger platform to do so? This song is telling you to focus. You got to get out there and get it. You know, you got to get out there and get it, and you can't focus on the people around you. You know, just because your brother or your sister is winning doesn't mean that that is going to keep you from winning. Them winning doesn't block your blessings. And so that's that whole mentality that our community has to work on, that whole crab in a barrel mentality, where to constantly compare or envy your brothers and sisters around you just because they're winning, you know, it's pathetic. You know, folks have got to do better. They got the same 24 hours in the day that you have. So now we get to Blue Laces 2. This song samples Willie Hutch's song, Hospital Prelude of Love Thing. In this song, Nipsey kind of highlights black men who are making strides and are making big moves. And he highlighted Dr. Sebi as one of them, and you know, his health and wellness. And also he highlights Rick Ross for kind of creating wealth and creating his own lane. In this song, you kind of get like a recollection of, you know, street life and kind of like that vicious cycle of it. And you know, as you're listening to the album, you'll get a lot of storytelling, and I really like an album that is storytelling, and it's almost like it's a diary for an artist. You know, Drake also does a really good job of this, and you know, it allows the music to be authentic. So now we get to the next song, Hustle and Motivate, which samples Jay-Z's song Hard Knock Life, and in like the first couple lines, Nipsey shouts out Jay-Z. This song is literally about that, hustle and motivate. You know, in this one, Nipsey drops a lot of game, a lot of gems, a lot of free game, by the way, and this song is really for the people. Status Symbol 3 is about the good life. It's like, you know, being able to reflect and, you know, being able to kind of see the fruits of your labor. And, you know, it's like, wow, we've come so far. You know, I remember where we started and here we are today, you know, making big moves. And so it's about kind of, you know, living in the moment. And it's about being at peace. You know, all the money in the world means nothing when your spirit is not at peace. In this song, Nipsey talks about the street life again and how he almost feels guilty for being that one that made it out, because being that he was still closely tied with his neighborhood, you know, he would see like old friends that he grew up with kind of die to that life, and how he kind of made it out. And so he feels guilty for leaving, and sometimes, you know, he's tempted, and sometimes he's constantly fighting that old him, but trying to push forward and continue to focus and not get sucked in back into that life, and how it's like a continuous battle. Sucker Proof is some good production. Sucker Proof is, okay, you know, let me go ahead and brag on myself real quick and real slight. Like, I came in this game, I did it myself. I didn't have, you know, a big machine behind me. I'm self-made. Here's how I did it, and here's why I'm that dude. So this is a song where Nipsey was definitely talking his big dog-ish, and I'm not mad at him. Sometimes you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta remind yourself of who you are. In this song, it's super high energy, and it is so much heart behind it. My next favorite song is Million While You Young featuring Dream. Now, I don't know if Dream had a hand in the production, but in terms of the verse that he sang, I didn't like his verse. I don't think that it was a great addition to the song. Nipsey would have been good just on this track by himself, and maybe just having Dream help out with the production behind it. But yeah, we didn't need Dream's verse in the song. In this album, you'll see that Nipsey plays around with his sound quite a bit. Like, although he's so Cali, and you'll get a lot of songs that is so West Coast, in the song Million While You're Young, it definitely gives you, you know, East Coast vibes. This song talks about living in your truth, not living a pretentious life. That's a life in bondage. If you feel like you gotta pretend who you are, that's bondage. Truly being who it is that you say that you are. The way that you portray yourself to the world, actually being that person. He talks about how like a lot of young people try to live a life that is kind of reflective of that street lifestyle, and it's like, little homie, you're not really about that life. So, you know, this is not for you. Go ahead, refocus, redirect that energy into something else, because this is not a life that you want to live. One of the last points that Nipsey made in this song is that people think that, you know, because you're successful, that the road to success is easy, and it's not. Like, you don't know what people have to sacrifice to reach the pinnacles of success that they reach. The next song is Loaded Bases featuring CeeLo Green, and this is one of those songs where it's really a feel-good song, and, you know, talking about all the wins and all of the achievements, and once again living in the moment, and, you know, self-reflection of, wow, I've come so far. And in this song, Nipsey kind of talks about how he has poured himself into the world, you know, and I really like that. I really like that, and that's really important to notate, because, you know, we live this life and we think that it's all about us. Like, I gotta achieve for me. And part of that is true, but, you know, what you do and you living in your purpose serves the people around you. Not just the people that you know, not just your family and your loved ones, but the people that you'll never know, but are watching you during your journey. People are always watching. And what I really like is that, you know, Nipsey Hussle demonstrated himself as of service to the people. Then we get to the next song, Real Big. And so this one features Marsha. I think I'm messing up her last name, Marsha Ambrosius. Ooh, y'all, I don't know if I got that last name right, but y'all know Marsha. Y'all know Marsha. I think that she was a great addition to the song. I mean, she is a vocal powerhouse and such a very peculiar voice. And this song is just really about, man, you know, always knew that I would do big things. You know, even if there were times in my life, especially in those low times where it's like, ooh, child, things are not really looking up right now, but let me keep pushing. Let me keep pushing, because I know that the end game is gonna be me winning. This song is kind of about, you know, gratefulness. Once again, you know, never get so caught up in the grind and success that you forget to live in the moment and reflect of, you know, where you came from. It's actually very motivating when you take the time to do that and reflect on where you started up into where you are now. So now we get to my last favorite song of the album, Double Up, featuring Belly and Dom Kennedy. This song I really like. I really love the production and the message, and also the video. You know, this video actually features Lauren London, and so this is a beautiful song. This is the one where I kind of hear it often. So that concludes kind of my favorite songs of the album. Once again, I really loved 10 out of the 16 songs. I would definitely, you know, recommend for y'all to listen to it. This is an honest review, not just because of the circumstances, but this is an honest review. Like, I would honestly rate this album, I would say like 7.5 to an 8. You know, let's say a 7.5. And it's very different from a lot of the albums, rap albums that you hear, where it's talking about, you know, the same theme: women, sex, money, drugs. Like, you know, he does not talk about that. And when he does talk about that, he talks about it from a standpoint of, this is what I used to do, and here's why, like, that is a road of destruction, and here's why I had to flip my mind and redirect my energy into something positive. And so it's really refreshing to listen to. Like, this was his truth. you know, and I'm gonna drop some gems on you because I want you to have keys on how you can go out there and get it too. So may Nipsey Hussle's soul rest in peace. You all let me know what you think about the album. Leave your comments below. Share this to your social media platforms. Also, if you like this video, make sure you click up that thumbs up sign. And also, while you're here, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, y'all.